This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of This is Just My Opinion. And in this week's episode, I will be talking to you about my opinion of the Blair Witch Project. Yeah, that's the original film. And I really don't understand what all the fuss was about. I mean, I must admit, I didn't see it when it first came out, and maybe that's the problem. I didn't see it when it first came out, but I did see it. I have seen the film. I don't understand why there were so many. These people were supposedly fainting in the cinema and screaming, and there is nothing scary about the Blair Witch Project. It is dull, uninteresting, boring, and possibly, I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it's one of the worst found footage films I think I've ever seen. It's so much of the time, nothing happens apart from these people being dicks to each other in a wood, in a forest. And then they start finding these things that say, and it's all just naff. There's no, the atmosphere is so forced, and the tension is so forced, and it just doesn't work for me at all. And seeing somebody blubbering and snotting into a microphone with a torch under their chin is not my idea of horror. And I just have no idea why everybody raved about this film so much, why it caused such furore. It's like, I do get the fact that before this, there weren't many found footage films. This was a big thing at the time, I suppose. But I have seen found footage films from before this came out. They weren't exactly a brand new idea, but it was the hype that this film had was just so over the top and so unnecessary. I don't get why it was hyped so much and why everyone fell into the hype, and they kind of like, were they watching the same film as me? Did I maybe watch the wrong film? I don't know. I watched the film. It was called The Blair Witch Project. It was supposedly the first one that came out of the Blair Witch films. And it wasn't scary in the slightest. It was mildly atmospheric, but a lot of the atmosphere came from things that, weren't even really going on. It was just, the whole thing just seemed really, really badly forced, and I don't get it. I don't understand why people were screaming in cinemas and fainting in cinemas, and why everyone was so blown away by this movie, which to me was just a complete waste of time watching it. I got nothing from it apart from at the end of the film thinking to myself, well, there's some time I won't get back. I just don't understand. And people still rave about this film. People still go on about how good it is and how original it was and how different it was. And, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you have to be of a certain type, or maybe you don't have to. Maybe it's people who haven't watched that many kind of horror films. I don't know. But I've seen much more atmospheric and much more scary horror films than this. And they haven't made me scream and faint. And I just don't get it. There you go. So that's my opinion of the Blair Witch Project. If you disagree with my opinion, if you have a different opinion, please leave a comment and let me know what you think of the Blair Witch Project or any of those sort of films. and we can possibly discuss it at a later date. There you go. Until then, next time, yes, until next time anyway, I will be leaving you, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Bye. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion.